What is up, you guys? I want to come to you guys tonight with my NXT TakeOver Vengeance review. So let's jump right into it. To start off, NXT TakeOver Vengeance tonight, we had the women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Finals tonight on NXT TakeOver Vengeance. This was the first match to start off the night tonight at NXT TakeOver Vengeance. Was the women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Finals Classic. So this was the finals for the women's Dusty Rhodes Women Tag Team Classic match tonight at to start off NXT Takeover Vengeance. We had Shotzi Blackheart and Amber Moon versus Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez to start off the finals for the women in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Finals. So this was probably one of the better matches of the night tonight in the Dusty Rhodes Women's Classic Tag Team Finals with Shotzi Blackheart and Amber Moon versus Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. This was probably one of the better matches of the night tonight at NXT TakeOver Vengeance. In my opinion, I really enjoyed this match. I thought this women's Dusty Rhodes Women's Tag Team Classic Finals match was probably one of the better matches of the night. In my opinion, I enjoyed this Dusty Rhodes Women's Tag Team Classic Finals match tonight at NXT TakeOver Vengeance with Shotzi Blackheart and Amber Moon versus Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez to start off NXT TakeOver Vengeance. I really thought this was one of the better matches of the night. This was a really great finals. This was a really great Dusty Women's Tag Team Finals match to start off NXT TakeOver Vengeance tonight. I thought this match was really decent. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good match. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was one of the better matches of the night tonight at NXT TakeOver Vengeance. This Dusty Rhodes Women's Tag Team Finals match tonight at NXT TakeOver Vengeance was one of the better matches of the night in my opinion. And I thought this was a pretty good match, in the Dusty Women's Tag Team Classic Finals tonight. I thought this was a pretty good match, and the team of Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez ended up going over on Amber Moon and Shotzi Blackheart in the finals of the Dusty Rhodes Women's Tag Team Classic Finals tonight. So congratulations to Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez on their Dusty Rhodes Women's Tag Team Classic Finals match tonight. Congratulations on their win. They go over on Shotzi Blackheart and Amber Moon, and it looks like Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez will be getting a shot at the Women's Tag Team Championships against Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. And then we move on to Kushida. This was probably the second best match of the night tonight at NXT TakeOver Vengeance between Kushida and Johnny Gargano. These two guys absolutely tore it up and had one of the better matches of the night tonight at NXT TakeOver Vengeance. This was probably the second best match on the card in my opinion, if you ask me, tonight, between Joey Gargano and Kushida for the North American Championship tonight at NXT TakeOver Vengeance. This was a really good men's match between Kushida and Johnny Gargano tonight at NXT TakeOver Vengeance for the North American Championship. This was the second best match of the night. These two guys absolutely went out there and had the second best match of the night tonight at NXT TakeOver Vengeance. These two guys absolutely went out there and tore it up and had a really good match, man. These two put on These two guys put on an amazing match tonight at NXT TakeOver Vengeance between Joey Gargano and Kushida for the North American Championship. This was a really good men's match. This was the second best match of the night tonight at NXT TakeOver Vengeance, in my opinion. I mean, these two guys absolutely went out there and tore it up and had a really, really good men's match tonight at NXT TakeOver Vengeance between Kushida and Joey Gargano tonight for the North American Championship. These two guys put on a classic. Another classic by Johnny Gargano, man. Johnny Gargano can make anybody look good in the ring, man, and that's just a fact. Joey Gargano can make anybody look good. Him and Kushida put on one heck of a match tonight, and these two guys absolutely tore the house down in probably one of the best matches of the night tonight at NXT TakeOver Vengeance, in my opinion, between Joey Gargano and Kushida tonight at NXT TakeOver Vengeance for the North American Championship. This was a really, really good men's match. These two guys went out there and just tore the house down and had a classic match tonight at NXT TakeOver Vengeance for the North American Championship. And Joey Gargano Joey Gargano retained his North American Championship tonight over Kushida tonight at NXT TakeOver Vengeance. And then we had the Grizzled Young Veterans versus MSK in the men's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Finals tonight at NXT TakeOver Vengeance. This match was all right. I thought this match was pretty decent. It wasn't that great of a match, if you ask me. It was probably an okay match. It wasn't the best match in my opinion. It really wasn't that great of a match. It was a decent match tonight for MSK versus the Grizzled Young Veterans in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Finals tonight. These guys had a pretty decent finals match tonight in the Dusty Rhodes Men's Tag Team Finals tonight with MSK versus the Grizzled Young Veterans. This match was decent. I didn't really. I mean, it was alright. I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of Dez and Wentz. I'm a huge fan of them guys. So this was a pretty good match tonight in the Dusty Rhodes Finals Men's Tag Team Classic tonight with MSK versus the Grizzled Young Veterans, and MSK ended up picking up the win of the Grizzled Young Veterans, and they won their Dusty Rhodes Men's Tag Team Classic Finals match tonight against the Grizzled Young Veterans. And then we had Io Shirai versus Toni Storm and Mercedes Martinez. This match was probably the weakest match in the night, in my opinion. This women's match was slow. This match dragged. It wasn't that great of a women's triple threat match tonight at NXT TakeOver Vengeance between Io Shirai versus Toni Storm versus Mercedes Martinez for the NXT Women's Championship. This match was slow. This match didn't pick up at all. This was probably the weakest match of the night, in my opinion. My biggest gripe about this triple threat match with Io Shirai versus Toni Storm versus Mercedes Martinez is you've handcuffed your women's division in NXT. Where do you go with Io now that she's beat everybody? Where do you go with Io now? You can't do Io versus Taya. You can't do that because Taya just got signed. You can't do Io versus Amber. We've already seen it. You can't do Amber versus Candice LeRae. You can't do that. You can't do Io versus Toni Storm. You can't do that. You can't do Io versus Mercedes Martinez. We've already been there, done that. You've pretty much handcuffed Io Shirai, and she has nobody to feud with now for the NXT Women's Championship now that she's beaten everybody in the NXT Women's division. She has nobody to feud with, so you've kind of handcuffed Io Shirai, and I don't know where she's gonna go now because she's she's beat everybody in the NXT Women's locker room. She's mainly beat every woman, so I don't know where you go with her now that, Io Shirai has beat every woman in NXT. I don't know where you go with Io now. You've kind of handcuffed Io, so I don't know where Io Shirai goes from here. I don't know. I don't understand. Anyway, Io Shirai ended up picking up the win over Mercedes Martinez and Toni Storm in this triple threat women's match tonight at NXT TakeOver Vengeance for the NXT Women's Championship. And then and then we had the men's we had Finn Balor versus Pete Dunne for the NXT Men's Championship. This was probably the better match of the night in my opinion tonight at NXT TakeOver Vengeance in the main event of NXT TakeOver Vengeance. This was probably the best match of the night tonight at NXT TakeOver Vengeance between Pete Dunne and Finn Balor in the main event of NXT TakeOver Vengeance. This was probably one of the better matches of the night between Pete Dunne and Finn Balor for the NXT Men's Championship. These two guys absolutely, they did a great job as well in their match. This was another great match as well. I mean, Finn Balor and Pete Dunne absolutely just killed it as well. These two guys put on a pretty good wrestling match tonight in the main event of NXT TakeOver Vengeance tonight for the NXT Men's Championship. This was a pretty good match, man. I'm not going to lie. This was a pretty good match. Would I go back and watch this match with Pete Dunne and Finn Balor again? Would I go back and watch this Finn Balor and Pete Dunne match again at NXT TakeOver Vengeance? I probably will go back and rewatch it because it was pretty good. I enjoyed it, and I'm not gonna lie. It was a pretty good match. It was probably the best match of the night tonight in the main event of NXT TakeOver Vengeance tonight between Finn Balor and Pete Dunne for the NXT Men's Championship. These two guys went out and had a very, very good match for the NXT Men's Championship tonight in the main event of NXT TakeOver Vengeance. And Finn Balor ended up retaining his NXT Men's Championship tonight over Pete Dunne in the main event of NXT TakeOver Vengeance. So I'm gonna give Vengeance a 7.5 out of 10. I like the women's Dusty Finals classic match. I like that to start off the night with Shotzi Blackheart and Amber Moon versus Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. I like that. That was a really good match. I like the match with Joey Gargano and Kushida tonight at NXT TakeOver Vengeance for the North American Championship. And I liked the match. I like the match with Finn Balor and Pete Dunne in the main event of NXT TakeOver Vengeance tonight for the men's NXT Championship. So overall, I'm gonna give NXT TakeOver Vengeance a 7.5 out of 10. Was it one of their better shows? No, not really. The weakest part of the show was the women's triple threat match with Io Shirai versus Toni Storm versus Mercedes Martinez. That was probably the weakest match of the night. Was this a really great takeover? No, not really. This takeover could have been better. But overall, I'm going to give NXT TakeOver Vengeance tonight a 7.5 out of 10. Guys, let me know what you guys thought about NXT TakeOver Vengeance tonight down in the comment section below. What matches did you guys enjoy tonight at NXT TakeOver Vengeance? Let me know down in the comment section below. I want to hear from you about what matches you guys enjoyed tonight at NXT Takeover Vengeance. So overall, I'm gonna give NXT Takeover. I'm gonna give NXT Takeover Vengeance a 7.5 out of 10. This has been my NXT Takeover Vengeance review. If you guys like this NXT Takeover Vengeance review, hit that thumbs up. You guys make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. And overall, NXT Takeover Vengeance was pretty decent. Was it one of their better takeovers tonight? It was a decent takeover. It was a really decent takeover. It wasn't their best takeover by no means. The best matches tonight at NXT Takeover Vengeance were the Dusty Women's Classic Tag Team Finals with Shotzi Blackheart and Amber Moon versus Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, and the men's match with Johnny Gargano and Kushida, and the men's final main event with Finn Balor and Pete Dunne for the men's NXT Championship. Overall, I'm going to give NXT TakeOver Vengeance a 7.5 out of 10. So, was this a really good NXT TakeOver show? Not really. It could have been better in my opinion. This NXT TakeOver could have been better. So yeah, guys, this has been my NXT TakeOver Vengeance review tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Overall, this wasn't really that great of an NXT TakeOver show. I thought this NXT TakeOver show could have been a little bit better. So anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching this NXT TakeOver Vengeance review tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. So you guys have a good one, man. And thank you guys for watching this NXT TakeOver Vengeance review tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And you guys have a great night, man. I'm out, guys.